Hey there, kids. It's me. It's Hank, the cyberpunk hillbilly, your best friend online, and maybe in the real world too. So recently, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts and YouTube shows, The Weekly Planet with Mr. Sunday Movies and his best friend, some other guy. Anyways, that doesn't matter. They were talking about how recently the director Zack Snyder was on the Joe Rogan podcast. So I guess they were having a 2-for-1 on asshole sale. I'm not going to talk about Joe Rogan. I think that dude sucks. I'm barely going to talk about Zack Snyder because I kind of think that dude sucks too. I'm just not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of his movies. I'm not a big fan of how he presents himself in interviews. I don't know the dude, never met him. I've heard a lot of people say he's super nice. I don't personally get it. He seems really fucking rude to me when I see him in interviews. He seems like one of those guys who talks over other people and doesn't really listen to what other people say. And whenever he explains things, he's always so fucking wrong that you can tell he doesn't really fucking care. Like when he talks about a famous comic book, and he'll be like, whoa, here's the plot of this comic. I'm like, you clearly didn't read that comic. Clearly you just had a fucking assistant tell you what it was, or you read a Wikipedia synopsis, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. Happens all the time. Like in this case, what's this fucking dude talking about now? He's talking about fucking Batman. And he's talking about how, in his mind, like, the rule of, oh, Batman's not supposed to kill, to him, that's just like, oh, that just makes me want to see what happens when Batman does kill. And I'm like, you fucking moron. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Batman's a fucking fictional character. That means he can do anything. He can kill people. He can bring people back from the dead. He can fart little fucking balloons that have magical powers and talk to you. It's a fucking comic book. He can literally do anything. So saying, whoa, what would happen if he really killed people? That's not an interesting question, okay? Saying what would happen if a fictional character killed another fictional character, that's not fucking interesting. He's not going to kill people in the real world. That's not how that fucking works either. Unless you're going to dress up as Batman and do it, but that's a whole fucking other thing. This shit just drives me fucking up the wall, man. It drives me up the fucking wall. It shows a basic misunderstanding of how fiction works, of how storytelling happens, about the sort of ontological makeup of what a narrative is. That kind of fucking annoys me to hear it coming from the fucking mouth of a storyteller. Anyways, my fucking point is Batman's a children's character. The reason he doesn't kill is because he's a character for little kids. So if you're saying Batman should kill, then you're like, whoa, I think little kids need to see more stories where people get fucking murdered and shit. And fucking whatever, man. I've probably said that myself. I like some weird dark shit. I liked watching fucking Predator when I was a little kid. I watched Aliens when I was a little kid, and I love those movies. So fucking whatever, man. But like, does Batman need to kill? Well, it fucking defines him that he doesn't. He's a dude who doesn't kill. I mean, back in the 40s he did, and there's lots of comics you can find where he does. But like, as a by and large, one of the things we say about Batman is he's not a fucking killer. That's the whole fucking point. Because he could just run around fucking poisoning people and snapping their necks, and they never fucking know what would happen if he really wanted to solve crime. He could just fucking go to like Tony Soprano's place in the middle of the night and just fucking kill him. Whoa, well, there's an interesting story. Yeah, it's called The fucking Punisher, man. Why don't you go fucking read that instead, you fucking moron. God, that shit bugs me. Anyway, saying that Batman's more interesting if he kills people is kind of like saying Batman's more interesting if he doesn't dress up as Batman. Or more appropriately, it's like saying, whoa, wouldn't Aquaman be more interesting if he never went into water and didn't talk to fish? Wouldn't Red Tornado be more interesting if he was like the color magenta or blue or something, and then like instead of spinning around, he like just had long conversations with people? No. Making a character be the opposite of what they were defined to be, that doesn't necessarily make them more interesting. That's just a first level, well, what if? Like, yeah, dude, people have been writing this character for fucking decades. They've crossed that bridge. They know that bridge. They're well and fucking familiar with it. And this thing where you're like, whoa, I'm asking questions nobody's ever had the courage to ask before. Dude, they've been asked. They've been asked a dozen times. One of the reasons that we don't ask them anymore is because it's fucking boring. So really what you're doing is you're asking a boring fucking question that's been asked dozens, hundreds of fucking times. Whoa, what if Batman killed? It'd be fucking boring. Here's the other thing. Be more realistic. I think it'd be more realistic if Batman killed. Hey, you know, it'd be more fucking realistic if when Batman got shot, he suffered internal bleeding and fucking died. That's what's fucking realistic. Wearing a fucking bulletproof vest doesn't make you bulletproof, and half of his fucking face is completely unfucking covered. So you know what would be real realistic? Is if when Batman went out to solve a crime, he jumped off a building, blew out his fucking knee, because if you jump 20 fucking feet down from a ledge and land on fucking concrete, you're gonna blow out your fucking knee, and then some dude walked up and shot him in the fucking face. Probably a fucking cop, because he's wearing a fucking mask. There's your realistic Batman story. Oh man, he didn't even get to kill anybody because he was fucking shot in the face by a fucking cop because he's running around in a fucking nightmare city in the middle of the night with a fucking mask on that doesn't actually stop bullets from getting through. whoa, what a better story. I'm so glad we made Batman so fucking realistic. That really fucking nailed it. That really fucking told an interesting, fascinating fucking story, you fucking plebeian moron. Jesus fucking Christ, why don't you go watch The fucking Wire if you want to see a cool, realistic story? We'd be fucking talking about Omar. But oh, Zack Snyder's not going to fucking talk about Omar. He wants to talk about fucking Batman and how realistic it would be for a fucking grown man who dresses up as a fucking bat wearing 400 fucking pounds of utility gear to be crawling in somebody's window and snapping a clown's neck. That's fucking realistic to you? Go fuck yourself, you fucking moron. You just love to hear the sound of your own voice, which I know a little something about because I'm recording my own voice and I'm going to edit it and then I'm going to listen to it and oh man, I'm so clever. Isn't Hank so clever? Aren't we all so lucky we get to listen to Hank being so fucking clever? It's not the fucking point, man. It's not the fucking point at all. The point is I don't know, man. I'm not really a Batman guy. I read some Frank Miller comics that I like. I'm not really a Batman guy. I don't watch the movies. I think they're fucking stupid. You know, again, like I watch a Batman thing and they're like, whoa, isn't this a realistic crime story? I'm like, no, The Sopranos is a realistic crime story. Like this thing where a dude is bulletproof and impervious to all harm and like, oh, he can get stabbed in the ribs, but he doesn't show any sign of injury fucking 3 minutes later. Like, none of that shit's realistic. So to fucking go all up your own ass being like, whoa, what if Batman was super realistic? Then he'd be a normal person and he'd fucking die. And it would be a really dull story. It's just so fucking stupid, man. Every time Zack Snyder opens his fucking mouth about this shit, all he does is fucking reveal his own prejudices and ignorances. And it just, watching the internet have to be of like, whoa, did you hear what this guy said? Whoa, did you hear that Donald Trump said something stupid again? Go fuck yourselves, the fucking media. And fuck me too for wasting my fucking time talking about some nonsense issue. I didn't want to talk about this today. I wanted to talk about Boglins. I got a fucking new Boglin. I wanted to show it off to you and talk about it. Instead I'm talking about this shit. I could be talking about the fucking new Crow trailer. That sucked ass as well. But fucking, I don't want a fucking video channel where I just talk about things that suck ass. I don't know, I got off on a little bit of a rant this morning. I don't know, I got some feelings on this shit, I guess. Again, for somebody who doesn't fucking read Batman comics and has no affinity for the character, it still kind of pisses me off when I hear people misinterpret the character, especially when they're patting themselves on the fucking back for it, like, huh, you know, everybody's pretty stupid, but I'm pretty fucking clever. And as a clever guy, let me tell you something. Wouldn't it be interesting? I know most of you are too much of pussies to ask this kind of question, but I'm a brave alpha male, so I'm going to ask her, what if Batman, what if he did kill someone? How daring of me to suggest that. How fucking avant-garde. Oh, I'm really living on the edge. Living on the edge, asking, what if Batman killed people? What if a fictional character for little kids fucking murdered somebody? What an interesting question. What an interesting media landscape we have to have these fucking conversations. Jesus fucking Christ. I should go fucking drown myself. Anyways, this has been another fun episode of Hank the Cyberpunk Hillbilly, where I come to you in my PJs and talk to you about fucking all this shit that I think so interesting and relevant. Fucking bullshit, man. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for, I don't know, share, like, and subscribe, all that fucking stuff. Thanks for being my special friend. You are my special friend, and I'm your special friend. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye.